Hi, eighth graders. It's Mrs. Johnson here from upstairs on Team 8A, and I'm here to do two things for you today. Well, three things actually. First one being to better explain your directions for both Thursday and Friday and make sure you fully understand what you're doing. Second thing is a little refresher on how to find a theme statement. And then the third thing is to go through my example of what your finished product will look like by the end of the day on Friday. So, first thing is your assignment for Thursday and Friday is to write a well structured paragraph identifying the theme of whichever piece you read this week, elaborating on it with two pieces of text evidence and explaining those, and then, of course, wrapping it up with a conclusion. So, let's move forward to refreshing our memory on how do we find a theme. What you have here on this page is what my finished product will look like. So bear with me for a minute while I refresh your memory on how to find a theme statement. You start by finding the big ideas of the text. So I'm using the sample from Sandra Cisneros' House on Mango Street, the vignette or chapter called Boys and Girls. So when I read that, I had to identify what are the big ideas of this. I said that it was probably a little bit about friendship, a lot about friendship, actually, a little bit about siblings, struggles, stressors that the kid is going through. So then when I did a second quick read of it, I narrowed it down to friendship was the theme. And then I had to identify what is it that the author was trying to teach me about friendship. And I kind of took one of my other big ideas and combined it. And it was the struggle to find a good, meaningful friendship or a best friend. So that's what I'm working with for my theme statement for our example here. Make sure you walk through those steps when you identify your theme statement in order to get the best theme statement that you can for your piece. So let's take a look at what your finished product is going to look like. On Thursday, our only goal for you is to write your paragraph. In Google Classroom, take the time, type it out, identify your theme, identify two pieces of evidence that support it, elaborate on those, and wrap it up with a conclusion. On Friday, come back and do a little editing to it. Check for your spelling, grammar, punctuation. Did you elaborate enough? Does your evidence make sense? Was there better evidence out there? And then we want you to go through and color code it at the end. So that's what I'm here to remind you of. My yellow colors here at the top and then again at the bottom are my theme or my intro and conclusion statements. So anything that identifies my theme, I highlighted in yellow. Now these pink or purpley light colors in the middle, those are my evidence. And then the blue is my elaboration and explanation of the evidence. As you can see, the blue is almost twice the size of the pinky purpley color. So that's really important for you to remember. Your thoughts are what we're talking about, not necessarily the evidence. Why is this evidence great? What is it doing to support your theme? So you always want to make sure that your elaboration is a little longer than your evidence. That's what color coding helps you figure out. I also want to take just a moment and point out a few different things. I have two kind of different color purple or pink colors here. And I want you to note that the first darker color, that's angling my evidence. It's leading into my direct quote from the book. Don't ever just throw your direct quote right in there. Make sure that you angle it. Okay. I do that in both of those pieces, and it can be done lengthier, like I did in the first one, or it can be done a little shorter, like I did in the second one. The next thing I want to make sure you remember is you must include your author name and the title of your work in your first sentence. Now, mine was from a novel, so it's underlined. Yours is coming from a short story, so make sure you put it in quotes instead. Make sure you take the time, go through and read this paragraph. Make sure you understand what it means to angle the evidence here, how I quoted my evidence, and then how I elaborated on my evidence. And then you can reach out to your ELA teacher if you have any questions or anything that you need assistance with while writing this paragraph. Don't forget to color code yours before you click submit on Friday. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.